They're not saying it's an easy challenge. They're just saying they're up for it. I love that kind of talk.
We'll be back after the end of the weigh-in for interviews, for analysis, and for all that. But for now, it's time for the fighters to step to the scale. Let's throw it up to the stage to Miguel Flores.
And welcome to the nation's capital here in Washington, D.C. as Premier Boxing Champions presents our official weigh-in for tomorrow's exciting night of Showtime pay-per-view card. It is all brought to you by TGB Promotions, GTD Promotions, and Showtime. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. We will begin our official weigh-ins with our Showtime Countdown pay-per-view portion of the card, and it is going to be streamed at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time on the Showtime Sports YouTube page. First up to the scale, 6 rounds in the super welterweight division out of Davenport, Iowa, with 7 victories, 4 by knockout, opposite of 2 defeats and 1 draw. Here is Sean, the Exception West. And now we welcome his opponent out of Capitol Heights, Maryland. His record undefeated, 6 victories, including 5 by knockout. Here is Trevon Sniper Marshall. All right, first up onto the scales, once again out of Davenport, Iowa. Here is Sean West.
What's going on? You guys all right? I missed you guys. I got a lot of fucking shit to do.
151.2 for West. And now we welcome the hard-hitting, undefeated knockout artist, Trevon Sniper Marshall.
I wish they get this damn house speaker shit over with. Been watching this shit the last fucking 4 days, man. They got to get it together. Anyway, welcome to the show. How do you guys feel about this pay-per-view? $74.99 on Showtime. I'm buying it. I'm doing it for you, the people.
149.8. 149.8 for Marshall.
It's my job to make sure I cover the fights. I mean, you know, I do have interest in Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia. I have interest now in Rashidi Ellis versus Roiman Villa. And Demetrius Andrade returns, you know. It's a stacked card of
6 rounds in the super welterweight division, live on the Showtime pay-per-view countdown show tomorrow night from Capital One Arena. Trevon Sniper Marshall taking on Sean, the Exception West.
These fights don't move the needle. So for me, I understand why in this day and age of 70, you know, for $74.99, we're getting Demetrius Andrade. We're getting Rashidi Ellis. We're getting Boots Ennis.
And now we continue our official weigh-in with 8 rounds in the super lightweight division. Coming to the stage now out of Cordoba, Argentina, with 21 victories, 10 by knockout, opposite of 10 defeats and 2 draws. Here is Diego Luque.
Everything I've been hearing and seeing is that nobody really,
and now introducing his opponent out of La Quinta, California. His record unblocked.
It's not a card that after Christmas, at the beginning of the new year, people want to put $75 on their cable bill or on their card. By the way, both of the Peterson brothers are on this card in dark matches. They're not televised. Anthony and Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson last fought against Sergey Limpinets back in March of 2019. So it's his first fight back as a 6-rounder against a guy who's 16-16. Who is this man? They'd like to just pull him off the streets.
141.2, 141.2 for Luque. And now we welcome the talented, undefeated Brandon Lee.
I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here tomorrow night. I'm actually doing something I've never done before. I'm going to be streaming during the entire card.
141.4, 141.4 for Lee.
So we're going to be here streaming during the card and during the post-fight show. Like, I've never done that before. Like, you know, it's crazy. So I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. So I'm only going to be doing boxing on this channel Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays into Sundays. And big, only significant press conferences like Anthony Joshua, Canelo, those guys are going to be on this channel. All my other boxing content is going on the Fight View 360 channel.
8 rounds in the super lightweight division. Diego Luque taking on the undefeated Brandon Lee.
Yep, I'm going to be streaming from 9 p.m. Until about, when his card's normally over, about closer to 1 a.m., I'm going to be streaming during the entire card. Like, I've never done that before. So my post-fight videos are going to be edited in real time. Like, it's going to be something nobody else is doing. So I finally got a new computer, a super PC.
And now we head to our super welterweight division. First up to the stage, we welcome out of Houston, Texas, by way of Jalisco, Mexico, with gadgets. 9 victories, opposite of 1 defeat and 1 draw, with 5 wins by knockout. Here is Omar El Charo Rosales.
So y'all know me if you've been watching the channel for a while. Once I get some new stuff, it takes me a little while to really perfect it, you know, but I have a very powerful rig now. I got to figure out also what's going on with my chat. No, I got some heat. Like, this new computer I got is some heat. I haven't even really, I'm just sitting down. We had a major death. A friend of mine died. Joe Frazier's daughter, Weta Collins Frazier, she passed unfortunately a few days ago. And been dealing with that. I interviewed her on the channel a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Sad shit. Funeral's tomorrow.
152.8, 152.8 for Rosales. And now getting set to onto the scale once again. He is
these are the prelim fights, the ones that are going to be on the Showtime YouTube page. Put it this way, you want to know some real shit? If I was just a fan, you know, like, this is not a fight where I'm going to sit home and pay $75 for, not a card. You see what I'm saying?
153.2, 153.2 for White Magic, Vito Mielnicki Jr.
It's time for Brandon Lee to step up. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy couple of months. But also, I wanted to weed out a lot of the subscribers, because thank you, we did hit 100,000 subscribers. But I wanted people to know that, listen, this is not just a boxing channel no more. And also, I wanted the new subscribers to know, hey, listen, this is not no MAGA channel. So it's like, you know, I was putting out Errol Spence videos, Terrence Crawford videos, myocarditis videos, shit like that, like Shanquilla Robinson, mixing it up, and then I let it sit. But that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be covering everything on this channel. But definitely
on the Showtime Sports YouTube page, it is White Magic Vito Mielnicki Jr. taking on Omar Rosales.
But definitely we're going to be covering major events on this channel. So if it's a pay-per-view, rest assured it's going to be on this channel. We're going to be doing our coverage. What up, Donnell? I did get your message. I just got, I messaged BLK Prime on Twitter to get their information. I've been trying to get their information. I'll have that by next week, because I don't get none of their press releases or anything. Yeah, I'm going to be covering everything. I covered, I used to cover the NBA on the Into the Arena channel.
And we welcome you. Premier Boxing Champions continues with our official weigh-in for our big night of action. This time we move into the pay-per-view portion of our big night of action, taking place once again at the Capital One Arena here in Washington, D.C. Brought to you by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime Pay-Per-View. Well, fans, Our night is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet $5 and win $200 if your fighter wins. Action so good, why bet on boxing anywhere else? And Universal Pictures Knock at the Cabin, only in theaters February the 3rd. Well, our pay-per-view portion features our main event of the evening, 12 rounds for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Of course, that's Gervonta Davis taking on Hector Luis Garcia. At this time, let's bring out our fighters for our opening.
This is the main card weigh-in. Let's go full screen.
Super middleweight special attraction. First, please welcome from Laurel, Maryland. He's a battle-ready super middleweight world-ranked contender, Demond, the best at it, Nicholson.
I interviewed Demond Nicholson back at Arizona Laurel versus Terrell Goucher, him and his father.
Rhode Island, the former two-division champion of the world. He'll be making his super middleweight debut. Here is Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade.
Let me turn that down. Y'all think this is like Andrade having to pay his dues and being hazed by them making him open up the card? I'm glad he's doing it, though.
Ranked super middleweight contender, Demond, the best at it, Nicholson.
What do you mean there's no sound? I hear it.
167 and 1/4 pounds, 167 and 1/4 pounds.
Y'all think this is what PBC wanted Bud to do? Come over here, pay his dues? Put him on the beginning of the card.
And his opponent in our opening pay-per-view attraction with a fine record of 31-0, 19 knockouts. Here is the undefeated former super welterweight and middleweight champion of the world, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. 167 pounds, 167 for Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade.
I think what Andrade is doing is like betting on himself. Like, look, he's opening up a card on a pay-per-view. I won't be surprised if him and Laurel fight next at 160, even though he's saying he's going to be competing at 168. And then him and Charlo fight. I gotta figure out what's going on with that chat on the screen, guys. My bad. It's kind of glitchy. I don't know why it's not real time. Oh, let's go full screen, my bad.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It opens up our pay-per-view event of boxing. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus Demond, the best at it, Nicholson. 10 rounds of boxing, super middleweight special attraction.
Yeah, he's going to get the fights now. He's going to get the fights now. Who is it going to be first, though? You think it's going to be Charlo?
All right, fans, here we go. Continuing with our official weigh-in. Premier Boxing Champions continues with our
because he can fight between 160 and 168. That's a very key signing. And they're kind of thin up there.
We invite first to the stage the power puncher from Barranquitas, Venezuela. Knockout-minded contender here is Flaco de Oro, Roiman Villa. And his opponent we invite to the stage at this time from Lynn, Massachusetts. He's the undefeated world-ranked contender making his Showtime debut. Please welcome Speedy Rashidi Ellis.
I think Charlo versus Adames is going to be next.
And the fighters are ready to step onto the scale. This is for the IBF Welterweight World Title Eliminator. Weight limit on this fight is a very strict 147 pounds. First to the scale, with a fine record of 25 wins, only 1 loss, with 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the hard-hitting welterweight contender, Roiman Flaco de Oro Villa. 145 3/4 pounds, 145 3/4 for Roiman Villa.
Man.
And now his opponent with a fine record of 24 wins, no losses, with 14 knockouts to his credit. Here is the undefeated IBF World Rank contender, Speedy Rashidi Ellis. $146 1/4 pounds, 146 1/4 pounds for Speedy Rashidi Ellis.
Something tells me this fight's going to be pretty good, too. Also, did you know that Rashidi Ellis was offered the boots in this fight, but it wasn't enough money? That came out at the press conference yesterday. But this Villa dude has won, what, 24 of his last 25 by knockout? 19-fight winning streak? Some shit like that. I know the numbers sound fucked up. But you follow me, right? But these were 2 key signings by PBC, Rashidi Ellis and Demetrius Andrade. They already pretty much control the 147-pound division. But then with Andrade, they get some somebody there for their 160-pound guys, you know, because they don't have too much control in that division.
The IBF Welterweight World Title Eliminator, Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Roiman Flaco de Oro Villa. All right, fans, here we go. Premier Boxing Champions continues with the...
It's getting to a point where these guys are going to have to fight each other because there's not enough dates. They got to accept what's given to them, or they got to go on the shelf and fight once a year, maybe once every 18 months, like Broner said. So they can fuck around if they want. Better take those paydays that are offered to you.
IBF number 4 ranked welterweight in the world. Please welcome Karen Chukhadzhian.
I knew that Ortiz
and now
fight wasn't going to happen.
Making his way to the stage from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is the IBF number 1 welterweight rank contender. Here is the undefeated welterweight sensation, Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Fighters ready to step onto the scale at this time. First, with a record of 20 wins, 1 loss, and 11 knockouts, making his Showtime debut, the world-ranked welterweight contender from Ukraine, Karen Chukhadzhian. 146 1/4 pounds, a ready 146 1/4 pounds for Karen Chukhadzhian. And now his opponent with a tremendous record of 29 wins, no losses, 1 no decision, with 27 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is the young star of boxing, the hard-hitting welterweight top contender, introducing Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Already 145.5 pound for Jaron "Boots" Ennis. 145.5 pounds.
He don't look all dried out. Still got his beard. He did say his goal is to get a title at 147 and move to 154, right? He don't really have any goals on undisputed. I don't think he's ever going to fight Spence. Well, at least not at 147. I don't see that happening. Like, it ain't going to happen. Even though he's a contender, I still consider him to be in like that next generation. Like after guys like Spence. I don't see it ever happening. I have doubts it happens at 154. Things are going to be interesting in 2023 for sure. Because these motherfuckers got to fight. Like, they fucking with the sport, for real, and they wonder why, like, ratings are going down. People are tired. I see them bullshit fights.
Showdown in the welterweight division. It is for the IBF Welterweight Interim World Title. Number 1 in the world versus number 4 in the world. Jaron Ennis versus Karen Chukhadzhian.
The Virgil Ortiz fight, he ain't fighting none of them unless it's going to be on the PBC side. It ain't going to happen. Like, that's why I don't talk about, you don't see me talking about, like, cross-promotional fights. The shit ain't happening. Boxing is fucked. Also, Tank Davis was posting some shit on his Twitter that was a little bit concerning.
There'll be no separating.
Somebody said he had little meat.
This is our co-main event of the evening.
Not even joking.
12 rounds IBF Welterweight World Title Eliminator. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime Pay-Per-View, sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet $5 and win $200 if your fighter wins. Action so good, why bet on boxing anywhere else? And Universal Pictures Knock at the Cabin, only in theaters February the 3rd. Well, fans, this is a battle of undefeated world champions in our main event. 12 rounds for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the world. Introducing first to the stage from San Juan de la Maguana in the Dominican Republic. He is moving up in weight and challenging for the lightweight title. Here is the current WBA super flyweight champion.
What does that even mean? I'm going to make weight. My little meat small, my meat small. What? A lot of shit going on with me right now. I guess he was just hungry.
And his opponent ready to step onto the stage at this time from nearby Baltimore, Maryland. He's the defending world champion and the popular star of boxing, the 5-time 3-division champion of the world, Gervonta Tank Davis.
All right, we got to go full screen for this shit. Him not making weight is always a big question.
Our main event, ladies and gentlemen, has a strict weight limit of 135 pounds, 12 rounds for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the world. First to the scale with a record of 16-0, 3 no contests with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the challenger and the newly crowned WBA Super Featherweight Champion of the world, Hector Luis Andrade Garcia.
I wouldn't want to get headbutted by fucking Hector Garcia, man. Look at that joint. That's Mega Mind right there. Isn't that what the joint called with the big head, Mega Mind?
134 pounds, 134 for Hector Luis Garcia.
Between him, Bernard Hopkins, and Tim Bradley, they got them fucking heads, man.
And now here he is, ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 27 wins, no losses, with 25 knockouts. The boxing sensation, undefeated and defending WBA Lightweight Champion of the world, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Shh. He got the fro. He cool. That fro looked dense, too.
134 pounds, already 134 pounds for Gervonta Tank Davis.
He was just a little hungry earlier. That's all that was. He cool. Hopefully it's no fisticuffs. Yesterday was a little concerning. Don't nobody remember he pushed Ruley to his death. he pushed Ruley to his death. Rolly off of like fucking 15 feet. Remember that? When he pushed Rolly off of that 20-foot scaffold? You saw Rolly just disappear into the abyss. It was like 24 feet. Oh shit, full screen, my bad.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the highly anticipated main event of the evening. Both of them undefeated. Both of them world champions in their own division. This one's for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Héctor Luis Andrade Garcia.
I thought Rolly had fell to his doom. I was like, Rolly, no. Tank, not like this. I know the blood is bad. That was like a 34-foot drop.
She's coming up and
Back at it here, Brian Campbell, Raul Marquez, Steven Jackson, and Luke Thomas. The weights are in. The main event is set. Gervonta Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia.
All right, I'm guessing they're going to get Tank to talk to up there. You buying it? $74.99. I'm guessing they're going to talk to Tank. So we're going to hang out and watch that. Then I got to get up out of here. I got a evening viewing to go to. It's going to be, But you're buying it, $74.99. Demetrius Andrade taking on Demond Nicholson. Rashidi Ellis versus Roiman Villa. I don't even know how to pronounce Boots Ennis. Let's call him Karen. Here, let me pull it up. Let me pull up the card for you on BoxRec. Let me pull up the card here on BoxRec for you. Before they do some interviews here. Let's do it that way. There we go. Oh, this way. How about that? Let's see. Here's the card. I don't know. How do y'all look at this resume, though? Be honest. Let's go back to 2019. December 2019. Let's go back 3 years. He fought Gamboa. You know, he only had 1 foot, 1 shoe. He fought the small Leo Santa Cruz. You know, uppercutted him to hell. Mario Barrios. Well, he was 140 pounds, but Mario Barrios is now competing at 147. He fought Keith Thurman. Isaac Cruz, who was a step-in for Rolly Romero, and a lot of people felt the Rolly fight shouldn't have been on pay-per-view, and then Rolly Romero. Now Hector Garcia. How y'all feel about that? I see smoke and mirrors, man. But will the Ryan Garcia fight be enough to get him over the hump? Or will he fight a guy like Ryan Garcia and then go back down to fighting guys like the level of, you know, like a Isaac Cruz? You know, they got that in the chamber for a rematch. I think they would do that if Tank Davis was to beat Ryan Garcia. But we don't know if that's going to happen. If you don't know, Tank Davis might be getting booked. He go to court February the 16th, they said, for alleged hit and run. If you ain't see the video, like alleged hit and run, the woman was pregnant and he's been on a, like, you know, dude might be doing a little bit of time. I'm not saying like a lot of time. I'm not a judge or anything, but he might be getting booked. So, and also Oscar De La Hoya said, you know, that the fight is not done. And we all heard that term before. Fight is agreed. We never heard nothing about it being official for April. That's done for April. We ain't hear none of that shit. All we hear is that the fight has been agreed to. So therefore, it's not done. It's not done. You know? But for $75, here, let me pull up the card again. $75. By the way, where's this card playing over in the UK? Is there a UK TV deal? You got Tank Davis, Hector Garcia, Boots Ennis versus Karen. I don't even want to butcher that. How do you say? I'm trying to sound it out. Chukhadzhian? Chukhadzhian. Oh, they got Boots Ennis on now. Let's listen to what he has to say. By the way, hey, man, like the video.
I mean, I'm ready to have some fun. I can't wait, man.
Hey, 145. What happened with that? You cut a little extra. You didn't have to go that far.
No, I mean, I woke up this morning and my scale said 46.6 or something like that. So I ate a little bit, drunk a little bit, came here and just said 45.8. So I was like,
I told him you just stay in the gym. You stay in the gym. That's why you look like that.
Yeah, and you see, I still got energy and everything. Like I'm smiling, having fun. Like this camp. It felt like I didn't lose no weight. Like I just felt normal the whole time. It was like a great camp. You know, I had fun. You know, I'm ready.
Boots, I saw you grow on Showbox. You know, tell us the difference between Boots back then and now, and how important is it for you to? I mean, you're like the co-main event on a super card, you know, Gervonta Davis undercard. How important is it for you to look good and end this fight by a knockout?
Me looking good, you know, on this big stage, you know, fighting on my first pay-per-view is going to be everything, you know. So I got to, you know, do everything to a T, you know, be smart, have fun. Don't look for the knockout, you know, just be sharp, be smooth, and I make a big statement, you know, on tomorrow night. You know, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be up. It's going to be, you know, bigger and better. You know, who knows? I could be, you know, a headliner pay-per-view myself. So all I gotta do is, you know, just do me. And then the big difference between me now and back then in Showbox, you know, I'm a lot more settled in, calmer now, and you know, just, you know, developing. You know, I'm getting to, you know, like, you know, that grown man mark. You know, not playing around as much, you know, and just still having my fun, but not like playing around too much and being a, you know, a grown man now, you know.
I think you never been past 6 rounds. Are you gonna go back past 6 rounds tomorrow?
We'll see what he presents.
I think he's saying bet the under. Well, we do praise you for the poise, the maturity you've shown. It's just 24 years old. But my partner in crime, Luke Thomas, has often described you as inevitable. You're going to be inevitable for the elite welterweights that you're knocking on the door from a mandatory opponent status, and you've got the interim IBF Welterweight title as the stakes for this one. Is this the last time we're going to be talking about how avoided you are when it comes to the larger elite picture at 147 pounds?
I feel like this is the last time you guys are going to hear that. I feel like me winning on Saturday night and doing it in a knockout fashion, I feel like it's going to put me right there at you know, #1, and you can't turn away from me now.
You got to come see you.
You got to see me. Like I got the interim belt now, so whether it's Errol Spence or whether it's Bud or whoever else, like I said before, I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward. So I want to fight guys that got the belts or somebody with a name. You know, that's about it. You know, I'm looking forward, not in the past.
I mean, I can make a million fantasy matchups that I want to see you, and I know you probably have some of your own the same, but you got to handle this business on Saturday. But Steck, you spent some time with this man. You went behind the scenes in fight camp. You know what it takes to be a champion. What did you learn about his makeup?
Well, I think for me, the dedication. You know, I've always admired you boxers, and I always admire boxers, how they dedicate themselves. You fight twice a year, but you stay in great shape. To see him work the way he worked every day, and also he gave his time to the other young boxers in the gym, it meant a lot to me. But that gym was different because he is the guy in that gym, but everybody in that gym is family. And you see why everybody coming out the gym is really excited, and they support him so much.
Boots, we always fill up the airwaves telling people that you're coming, that you're here, that the future is now. Why do you believe, though, that you're referred to as being this special compared to the other guys in this division, the other guys in this sport right now? What makes you special in your eyes?
Because I'm just different from these other guys. You know, like everybody know that I stay in the gym. You know, I stay in the gym, I stay hungry, and after I win on tomorrow night, I'm gonna be right back in the gym on Monday. You know, I love doing what I do. You know, it's hard to be somebody doing that. You know, doing what they love. Like this boxing stuff is fun for me. Like, I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love beating people up. I love having fun. Love entertaining the crowd, my friends and my family. You know, this stuff fun to me. You know, so, yeah.
Luke, he's an artist. He's got the swag with it.
Speaking of fun, did you have anything fun planned for your walkout? You gonna do something different, something a little interesting there?
Speaking of the walkout, my man Stack, you want to walk me out?
Oh, man. Hey, bro, I'm going to tell you this. It's an honor to walk you out, bro. We built a great relationship.
Yeah,
it's an honor,
appreciate
bro.
You,
I would love to.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
There you go, Stack. You didn't know you were going to be busy tomorrow.
Honor, man. Honor. That's an honor.
Yeah.
Texas in the house here.
That's an honor.
You gotta have my guy walk out with me, man.
All right.
Appreciate
honor.
you.
Karen Chukhadzhian, he's across from you. I'm sure you've crunched the tape, you and your team. What are you expecting when it comes to this matchup on Saturday?
I mean, well, like I always say, I let my team do that. You know, I don't really focus on that. You know, I just listen to what my pop tell me to do when I'm sparring and hitting the bag and certain shots he want me to do to pinpoint, you know, the win, the victory, to secure the knockout, and that's what we've been doing this whole camp.
Fair enough. You didn't look at any tape at all?
Nah.
Wow. Don't even, just going in blind.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Study Mike Tyson. Yeah, study Mike Tyson a lot. Yeah, Iron Mike.
What does that mean to study Mike? Like, what have you done? You've just been watching old interviews? Like what?
No, I just been watching like a lot of his highlights, you know, and in certain ways he be moving in to get to that distance, you know, and finding his distance and doubling up them shots with the same hand and things like that, you know, shots that guys don't expect, you know, and y'all gonna see tomorrow.
So if you've been studying Mike Tyson, that means this fight's gonna go short. I mean, Mike Tyson, come on, don't blink, don't blink,
don't blink at all.
Don't go to the refrigerator, go get a drink.
Don't go to the.
That is true. This does remove him from the rankings to fight Crawford. He'll be strictly Spence's mandatory.
I mean, we can sit here and talk about how great you are, but we're itching.
I'm interested in how this is going to play out.
It's the very best to have your chance to prove that. How do you stay so patient? Because you're always so chill. You know, you're not out here necessarily going on social media and saying, hey, Spence, Crawford, Thurman, line up. Where are you at? You just sort of sit back and play it cool.
I mean, I know it. The key is being patient. You know, I got to be patient, but at the same time, I can't keep being patient no more. You know, I'm hungry. And like I said before, my time is now. I've been ready. I was ready 2-3 years ago, but the longer they keep waiting, the worse it's going to get. But we want them now. We want them now. So
fighter, is he?
You know, I'm handle business on Saturday night and make. You know, not looking past this guy.
He's a
and,
fighter, right?
Do my thing. We're gonna make it happen.
Are you gonna have a message on your trunks at all? Mr. Catch a Body, that kind of thing again? You gonna do that?
You gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see tomorrow.
We're gonna see. Tomorrow's a big day. We're gonna see.
Tomorrow definitely a big day. I can't wait. I'm real excited.
Boots, if you had it your way after this fight, if you win this fight, Crawford, Spence, we got Stanones, Virgil, who would you want? Be honest. Who would you want? Tell the camera who you want.
Next, realistically, everybody know I want Spence next. You know, because that's put me right in line. You know, I'm fighting for the IBF interim, and we want that next. But if we can't get him, we can go to Bud. If we can't get Bud, give me the winner, Virgil Ortiz and Stanones. We can't get him, I'll take Ugas or Keith Thurman. You know, somebody with a name. I just don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward, and if I can fight all the guys.
Line them up, huh?
Back to back. That's what I would do because I'm a fighter and that's what I love to do. And I want to go down history, you know, as one of the best. You know, I want to be an all-time legend. And, you know, I want to have great names on my resume and beat all world champions and things like that. Go up and down weight classes and be undisputed at 47, 54, 60, maybe even 68. You know, I got a big agenda ahead, a lot of goals, you know, and I'm ready. I'm ready to take it over.
All right, we know you're also a student of the game, so student of the game. So put your analyst hat on. Tank Davis, Hector Luis Garcia, a guy that the real boxing fans know exactly what he brings to the table. What's this fight going to look like stylistically?
I actually like this fight. It's a good fight. You know, Hector Garcia not bad, but I think Tank gonna get him in 3 or 4.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Get him out of there early.
What do you think is going to be the difference? The power?
I think Tank just going to be too strong and too smart for him, and Hector good, but I don't think he's good enough for Tank. You know, so,
not many are.
Yeah,
Tank has a lot of finesse. He has a lot of finesse in this game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go in the building first, throw the first bomb, and then we got Tank right at me.
I'll be right on the side of you, bro. Right on the side of you.
Yeah.
Another young prospect, Brandon Lee, described you on the stage yesterday as a video game fighter. When you hear those kind of superlatives, how do you feel?
I mean, I feel great. You know, I get all those different type of things. Everybody say I'm a
5'10".
creative character. You know, because I can do it all. You know, I'm like I say I'm a variety pack. You know, I got everything. I got speed, defense, power. You know, I'm slick. I can fight on the inside. I got foot movement. I'm like, you could put your hand in the bag of chips and, you know, pick your favorite one. However you want it, I give it to you that way, you know.
All right,
that's how I feel.
We know
Boots
I got to
like
put you on the spot here. We know the
5'9"
relationship
at
with
most,
Steven
like,
Jackson came down to your fight down to your camp. I saw a little bit of the teaser where he put the gloves on and you were catching him and throwing.
Yeah.
Now look, I've actually seen Stack fight in his other original day job, and I know enough to love and respect and not mess with my man here.
I look better in the stands than I did in the ring.
Boots, can you break down Stack's game right now? Okay?
No, it's Stack's definitely. You could tell you rangy, good, tall. You know, he athletic, so it's bound to happen. If he do it every day, he'll pick it up like this.
Oh wow!
But a lot of basketball players, when they come in, you know, to the boxing gym and things like that, they pick it up fast because they're athletic already.
I'm telling you, I met him. Like, I don't think he's 5'10", but hey, all right.
I mean, it get loose. They'd be fine, you know.
Like Chad.
Chad was stiff, you know. Now he got loose, got a little swag. But all you gotta do is find your own rhythm, get your swag, and then you'll be fine. But Stack's gonna be cool.
Brian, they can't find your swag. It's not. It doesn't exist.
Stack got that dog in him? He's got that dog.
Definitely got that dog.
We can't wait to see you showcase what's inside of you Saturday night, the IBF Interim Welterweight Title. Karen Chukhadzhian, it's Jaron Boots, and it's a pleasure. Okay, we've enjoyed watching you ride. Go get them.
Future.
Come Saturday night. The future is now right here, ladies and gentlemen. But a loaded pay-per-view card, top to bottom on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
I'm not 6'4". I'm a little over 6'2".
Thank you very much. Showtime.com/PPV.
What shoes on? Like sneakers or like?
Right now, 4-fight main card. We've got Demetrius Andrade moving over to the PBC and making his debut at 168, and some other must-see.
We're gonna talk to Tank. Who's that right there?
The other half of that scenario for Saturday night's main event. One of the Fighter of the Year nominees for 2022 from the Dominican Republic, unbeaten Hector Luis Garcia. Martin Bader will translate. Andrade in the house. We have seen from you confidence galore this week. Some people are wondering, is the stage going to be too bright for you, the pressure? How are you doing on the inside heading into your biggest test to date?
Héctor, te notamos muy confiado durante esta semana, pero hay gente que cree que quizás...
Somebody said Boots wasn't with Duncan no more. Can somebody clarify that?
¿Cómo te sentís vos por dentro, en tu corazón, de cara al desafío de tu vida?
Bueno, sí, primero darle gracias a Dios por la oportunidad. Realmente me siento así, confiable por la experiencia que tengo en mi carrera de boxeo. Eso de presión y esas cosas, psicológicamente ya eso viene eso es de atrás, muy atrás. Ya ahora mismo me siento confiable por la experiencia que tengo.
The pressure is behind me. Right now, I feel good. I feel confident. It's no act. I feel like I am capable of absolutely anything tomorrow night. Everything is in front of me, and I plan to take advantage of it.
So let me ask. The weigh-in yesterday, there was a little pushing, a little shoving, a little Philly shell. Talk me through it from your perspective, Hector. What did you see from Tank, and what did you make of what happened?
Bueno, contanos qué te pareció ese momento de ayer con el empujón de Gervonta. ¿Cuáles fueron tus sensaciones cuando pasó todo eso? ¿Qué te pareció él cuando hizo eso?
Bueno, todos los boxeadores actúan diferentes y son diferentes. Yo soy de la persona que realmente demuestro lo que tengo que demostrar encima del ring, no bajo. ¿Me entiendes? Pero todos los boxeadores son diferentes y eso me puso más vivo. Me puso más alerta para estar en mi pelea, porque realmente estaba un poquito relajado.
Anybody giving him a chance? I think he's going to put on a better performance than people think, but Tank is still going to win.
Atento, ya me puso realmente me puso en tiempo de pelea.
Look, I really have to thank Gervonta, really, because he woke me up. When I was up there, I was a little relaxed maybe in the beginning, but when he shot me the way he did, he woke me up. He lit that fire under me, those competitive juices. So today, during the face-off, I was more alert in case anything happened. Nothing did, but I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like the pre-fight antics. I like to show what I'm capable of inside the ring, and that's what I'm going to do tomorrow night.
Hector, can you tell us why it's you, the one that's going to pull off the upset? What are you going to have to do to avoid Tank's big bombs? He's only gone the distance twice. He knocks out everybody. Tell us why.
Gervonta solo lleva la campana final 2 veces. ¿Qué te hace pensar que vos no solo vas a llegar a la campana final, sino que sos capaz de dar el batacazo, sorprender al mundo y tener el brazo alzado al final de la pelea?
Bueno, sí, realmente para mí no es una sorpresa esto, sino para el mundo, porque yo realmente sé quién soy y sé para lo que soy capaz de hacer ante cualquier rival como Gervonta Davis. Yo me preparo para pelear los 12 rounds. En esto no hay nada de Cristo, cualquier cosa puede pasar antes de los 12 rounds. Yo me preparo física y mentalmente para lo que sea posible.
Nothing is written in boxing. The future isn't told. I'll be ready to fight all 12 rounds and let the world be surprised if it wants to. But if I win, I'm not going to be surprised. I know what I can do.
Well, look, we know the plans that Gervonta Tank Davis hopes he has, which is Ryan Garcia, come April with a victory over you. What are your plans, however, with a victory handing the first loss to Tank Davis?
Todos le preguntan a Gervonta cuáles son tus planes después de ganarte, viste que todos piensan en el futuro, pero nadie te pregunta a vos, ¿cuáles serían tus planes para el futuro si le ganás a Gervonta Davis y tu carrera cambia de una manera singular?
Bueno, sí, mi carrera categóricamente cambia definitivamente en todo, tanto como carrera como en lo particular en mi país, ya a nivel mundial. Ganarle a Gervonta Davis para mí sería un gran logro,
My life will change completely. I'm well aware of that. And the thing that makes me the happiest really is that when I win, my whole country is going to change too. And it's going to mean a lot to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. I won a championship in Pueblo Nuevo in Dominican Republic, so I know how prideful the people are there. How great would it feel to have a championship bringing it back home?
Bueno, que él supo ganar un campeonato en la República Dominicana, conoce la pasión de tu país. ¿Qué tanto significaría para vos el saber que ganaste un campeonato mundial de este calibre para tu país?
Bueno, mira, cuando lo escuché a él hasta me engranó. Me engranó los pelos porque realmente me siento orgulloso de ser dominicano y representar lindamente a mi República Dominicana en tierra extranjera. Y me siento también agradecido con Estados Unidos, con la compañía PBC, SHOWTIME PPV, que me ha dado la oportunidad, y por eso hoy en día estoy aquí, porque realmente estaba oscuro, pero no había demostrado, o sea, realmente lo que soy, porque no me habían dado la oportunidad hasta que me la dieron. Dominicana se siente muy orgullosa de donde yo estoy ahora mismo, representando a mi país en un evento tan importante como este, por PPVs.
You gave me goosebumps. And don't get me wrong, I'm really thankful with PBC, SHOWTIME Boxing, and the United States as a country, because I hadn't been given an opportunity like this until now. PBC and SHOWTIME put me on the path to be where I am now. Yeah. So I am eternally thankful for that. Yeah. But winning this for the Dominican Republic, I mean, that's just another level where it will fill me with pride, and I know that people will be so happy. So I have to do everything I can in order to make them happy. That's my mission.
I can imagine, because when I won the championship, they carried me from the arena to my hotel. So I know they're going to really celebrate if it happens.
Cuando él ganó el campeonato, lo llevaron en andas desde el estadio hasta el hotel. Así que imagínate lo que va a hacer.
El dominicano se disfruta. El dominicano para mí es el mejor país porque no hay leyes. Las leyes se aplican cuando quieren aplicarlas, pero allá se disfruta, se goza, se vive 24/7. Dominicana por completo, eso es bonito, algo muy bonito.
Well, you know how it is. It's a beautiful country. 24/7 enjoyment, party, happiness. That's you know, there are no rules. And if there are rules, there are only happy rules. So we're happy people.
I'm sure the Dominican Republic will be celebrating just like your home nation on the World Cup win. Congratulations. But Hector, you earned this. We wish you well. We cannot wait to see this fight on Saturday.
Thank you so much.
Te deseamos todo lo mejor y esperamos verte este sábado. Te deseamos todo lo mejor.
Ok, gracias. Quiero enviarle un grato saludo a toda mi República Dominicana, específicamente a mi provincia San Juan de la Maguana, a mis entrenadores de base que me...
Without like Ellerby and Mayweather wasn't coming anyway. He would only be there on fight night.
Que esperen lo mejor de mí, como siempre lo he estado haciendo.
Thank you guys very much.
Can Tank be his own promoter?
A very warm greeting to everyone in the Dominican Republic, to my city, to the trainers, to the people that allowed me to forge my career and be where I am ever since I was a kid. So thank you, everybody, because I love you all.
Thank you so much, Hector Luis Garcia, the last reigning gaucho, Martin Vader, on the pronunciations. As we continue to look ahead to Saturday night's fight, 9 p.m. Eastern, the Showtime pay-per-view card begins. Luke Thomas and myself, 6:45 Eastern.
That's right.
On the Showtime Sports.
All right, let's talk. So hopefully Tank is going to be up next. I'm going to be here streaming during the event. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I never did a whole stream during an event anymore. So it's subject to change because I got to do a lot of tests to make sure I get everything right. But basically, 9 p.m. Eastern is when the pay-per-view is going to start. It's going to open up with Demetrius Andrade versus Demond Nicholson. Then you're going to have Rashidi Ellis versus Roiman Villa. You're going to have Jaron Ennis versus Karen C. And then Tank Davis versus Hector Luis Garcia, $74.99 on Showtime PBC on Showtime pay-per-view. No titles on the line. Well, the IBF Interim is on the line with Boots Ennis taking on Corinne, and that will disqualify him from being Bud Crawford's WBO mandatory. So heavily rumored that sometime in March or April, likely April, you're going to have Errol Spence taking on Keith Thurman. Then he would have to take on Boots Ennis if Boots Ennis beats Karen, unless the IBF gives an exemption and Boots Ennis accepts step-aside money for Crawford and Spence to happen in the fall of this year. That's fucked up, right? That we're probably not going to get Spence versus Crawford, like, not till at least the end of this year. That's fucked up. Fucked up. Boxing is weird, man. You know, and they wonder why, like, we got fucking power slap and shit. Oh, wait, not no more. Dana White. This shit is crazy. Tank Davis, I like Tank Davis, but I'm not, you know, I haven't seen enough, like, from him to be like, okay, like, by the time he's 30, he gonna know how to handle all of his business. For example, who do you think is handling all this? It's Al Heyman. Not like it wasn't always Al Heyman before, but it's Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza. Do you see Tank Davis being able to branch off and be his own smart investments businessman like Floyd Mayweather was or is? I can't see Tank Davis being that. He hasn't shown me enough. You know, to be the guy to carry his own brand with endorsement deals and all that. He hasn't shown me enough. He can be so much bigger than what he is, but like, what's really holding him back? Is it the lack of, like, you know, leadership within his team or his circle? Does he don't have anybody to answer to? Because sometimes you just be like, yo, like, what is he doing? And sometimes it does feel like Showtime tries to force him on us that he's some, like, bigger star than what he is because he sells pay-per-views that they break even on. He's got a name in, you know, boxing, and in a casual urban entertainment circle. But realistically, like, he can be bigger, but is it him holding himself back? You know? Yeah, what is it? It's like, you know, is it not, is like, he's a great fighter, but what is it that he doesn't have? Oh, damn, they're going to talk to everybody. This is the manager and the trainer of Garcia.
How about this trainer, Bob?
He's been talking shit.
Bob Santos, a longtime guy in this game, many different areas, but you're bringing it to the forefront now as the head chief in what, 3-4 different world champions at the moment. Congratulations on your success, Bob. When you look at the challenge ahead for Hector against somebody as sublime, as dangerous, as spectacular as Gervonta, what are the keys to victory of what you can share with us?
Well, I think I've said it, and I'll say it again. The key to victory is going to be his amateur pedigree. They're underestimating that. You know, this guy has 400 amateur fights, okay, at an Olympic level, right? This guy trained with the Russians in Russia. I mean, how durable do you got to be to go to Russia and stay there for a really big deal and go against those types of guys? Training in Cuba for a lot of years, and so that's going to be the key to victory. And I think a lot of people are overlooking the fact that Hector's left-handed. How many left-handers has Tank been in within his career, as opposed to Hector? You know, I don't know, but I'd venture to say I'm probably sure Hector's been in with a little bit more left-handers than Tank's been in with. over his amateur and professional career. So, again, Hector can do things on a plethora of different ways, inside, outside. He can float. He can go backwards. He can do a lot of different things. So we'll be setting a lot of traps for Tank, too. Everybody just thinks Tank has the only high IQ here. Hector Luis Garcia has got a high IQ, too.
Bob, what is the best explanation? Because I got the wake-up call on him when he beat Chris Colbert. I was like, whoa, okay, this is no accident, right? I mean, he beat him pillar to post.
See what I mean? He's talking some big shit here.
Luis Garcia, what happened that people didn't realize he was as good as he was?
Well, obviously, he just didn't have the opportunity. When you come from a foreign country, you're from the Dominican Republic, and sometimes you don't get access to opportunities. But I always tell my fighters, hey, stay in the gym, stay ready. And some guys may get 5, 6, 7, 8 opportunities. You may only get one, and you got to make the most of it. And that's what he did on 19 days' notice.
Bob, what weaknesses do you see in Tank that Hector Garcia could capitalize on?
I think Tank's a complete fighter, obviously. In this game, better than anybody, one punch can change anything, right, and it can change what your plan is and alter the course of an entire fight. But that being said, I don't see any weaknesses really in Tank. I think he's very underrated boxer. I think he has a high IQ. I wasn't just giving hyperbole. I do think pound for pound, he's one of the best fighters in the sport. To me, he's one of the most dynamic punchers that we've ever had, in the lower weight classes. He has a good jab. He can go inside. He can go outside. And, a lot of people don't realize I've had 3 of my other fighters spar with Tank, so I've watched him probably over 100 rounds in sparring. So I know him very, very well. And so I've seen him do a lot of things in sparring that he hasn't shown in fights, but I think Hector's going to bring out the best in him. He's going to bring out the best in Hector.
Plus, he had Mario Barrios in camp, right? Sparring with Hector Garcia.
Well, Mario obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, I had him. I took him from his first pro fight to #1 in the world, and then obviously, went a different direction for a while. He's back with me now. But that being said, I'll tell you something about Hector Garcia, and you probably know this as well as anybody as a former fighter and world champion. Hector, a lot of fighters will be like, wow, how was his punching power? How was his speed? How was this? And even you as a guy who played top-notch hoots, how was this guy, when you haven't faced him? So that being said, Hector never did that. And that tells you a lot about the psyche of him as a fighter. I don't care what he brings to the table. Other guys are, well, how's his power? How's this? Never concerned him. In his mind, hey, I've been in with, 400 amateur fights. I've seen it all. Been there, done that. So I'm not concerned with it. And we're going to implement what we got to implement, and we're going to dictate to him.
That attitude is, I'm not worrying about what he's doing. As long as I control and take and do what I came to do, what I worked on in training camp. If I do what I have to do in the ring, it doesn't matter what he does.
Mario
that
did
attitude he has.
110%. And a lot of fighters, like I said, you don't find that. They're like, how was his punching power? How was this? How was that? Barrios did come up to him and talk to him for about 30 seconds, as a guy in our gym, just to say, hey, I thought this. He's a pretty good puncher, so on and so forth. And Hector was obviously responsive and respectful, but that conversation lasted about 30 seconds. And they both went their separate direction and back to work.
Bob, what do you make of the size difference such that it exists? I have to tell you, when they face off, doesn't look like a big size difference at all between them.
Well, obviously Tank doesn't have a great height advantage. We all know that. Hence the nickname Shorty, huh?
Yeah.
But that being said, he's thick-boned. He's a strong guy. I've seen Tank in there with 47-pounders and stopped them. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say any names, but I've seen him in there with a very durable 54-pounder. I was actually there when he stopped him. So he's a very, very strong puncher and solid in that way. Now, Hector's coming up. Obviously, he was at 26. He only did maybe 3 or 4 fights at 30. But you could see he's a solid guy his own self, and we've had him in our gym. Like I said, you don't survive in our gym. Guys like Carlos Adames, world champion, he's an absolute killer. Now, Alberto Puello, the 140-pound world champion that we have a plethora of guys that can really go in our gym. So you don't survive in that gym unless you're pretty solid yourself.
Great work with Andrade Durrell, just the same, correct? I mean, you've been popping up everywhere. But look, I thought you and Hector kind of won this week. You showed out your confidence level, your professionalism, all of that. But it was an unnatural build to this with the headlines, Tank, the legal trouble outside of it. Does any of that change? Because so much of this game is mental. And I thought Hector really stood up and said, I belong here. I know it. Nothing's going to be a problem. With Tank, though, with everything going on, do you expect any distractions to play into this?
No, I don't, because at the end of the day, we all got things going on in our personal life, whether it was Robert Guerrero that I had helped train and manage to a world championship when his wife was, dying of cancer. So everybody's got something that they got to deal with. And I don't know Tank personally. I don't know much about his childhood, but I could almost bet, just like Hector came from adversity, not having shoes till you're 10 years old. A lot of times in my own background, sometimes we function better in chaos. Sometimes, and when everything's going just right, something's wrong. And when everything's outside of you, in a whirlwind, you seem to hone in better. So I think we're going to see the best of Gervonta Davis.
All right, I want to give you a minute to get your flowers here, because you've had such a breakout run of late and doing great work with many different fighters. We saw you with David Burrell and Ronnie Shields as well. I mean, you're helping out everywhere. What has been the key for you in really getting the recognition you've long deserved this year and having so much success? You get some great, hungry young fighters that you've been behind, but something's changed big in the Bob Santos household to make such a great year last year.
Well, I always want to give credit to my cousin Louis Molina, fought in the 1956 Olympics and brought my whole family into the sport of boxing. So I've been a lifer in boxing. But, I've never been a guy that really tooted my own horn. And so some people behind me said, hey, Bob, you got to do the interviews. You got to do some of these things, because a lot of times you've helped a lot of guys become world champions and you've never gotten, any kind of shine and so forth. And I said, like my mother always said, you work hard, sooner or later that shine will come. But with this day and age with social media and so forth, and my kids now coming up in the sport, they're like, come on, Pops. You got to do some things and so forth. I think that's the big difference.
Well, you deserve to be here as much as Hector. And
don't dance on TikTok. That's it.
All right, imagine what he could have done with your talent. You know, what
Never
I'm saying?
know.
Say, hey, did pretty well yourself.
Bad timing.
Bob Santos, we'll see you Saturday night. Thanks for everything. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Can't
you
wait
guys.
to see
Thank you. Can't wait. Good luck, man.
Are they ever going to bring takeout?
You've convinced me. It's going to be a good one.
They're welcoming all the smoke there. And Steven Jackson, the transition. We all seem.
I'm hoping best adult dating site. What the hell? Get out of here with that mess. There you go. Thank you, moderator. But yeah, we're waiting for Tank to come out to do his interview. So once again, I'm going to be here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. This is we're going to be doing boxing on this channel Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays into Sunday. If there's a big press conference like Anthony Joshua, Canelo, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Adrian Broner, we'll be covering that content or big fights on this channel. Smaller level, fights we'll be covering on the Fight View 360 channel. So this is my second day back in the boxing and my first week back overall. So I've been out of the loop. I'm pulling the band back together. I kind of disappeared, fell off the map, around the beginning of November up until last week with boxing. So I'm really trying to catch up. So damn, they ain't gonna talk to Tank. This was his. What is this? See, Floyd would never. Floyd would never. This is why, how it's in your pay-per-view and your weigh-in. And they're saying you're the next big thing, and we're not hearing from you, not even a post-weigh-in interview. No, unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. I just sat here. I got to go anyway. So listen, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for the fights. Of course, I'm going to be here for the main card. Andrew, damn it, it's my camera lid. Andrade Nicholson, we're going to be doing a video on that. Rashidi Ellis versus Villa, because I think he might lose. Boots Ennis versus the Karen dude. And then, of course, Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia. Then we'll be doing a post-fight show. Yeah, but I don't care. Okay, all right, I get it. If you're hungry, okay, cool. You got to go eat. Cool. But this is your event. There's no Leonard Ellerby. There's no Mayweather no more. This is your event. You're supposed to be the promoter, GTG Promotions. You're supposed to be the guy. Get out there and, say something hi, everybody, buy the fight. This is your event. Crazy. And he's on Twitter talking shit with Ryan Garcia when you should be out here. You know, come on, man. Come on, man. And then he wants $75 for it. Crazy. Take a time out, like the video, subscribe, and T Street Controversy with Fight View 360. See you guys later.